Here we go, once again. We can't get enough from the Yellowstone franchise, even if sometimes it breaks our hearts. Bring on the new season and as many spin-offs as we can. So, what's happening with 4/6s? How will 1932 bridge the gap between Yellowstone and 1883? And what do we know about 1883 Season 2, the Yellowstone prequel? Well, let's find out. But before we get into all that, don't get excited for Yellowstone Season 5 just yet, because there's some ominous news that has just come in. Though we haven't been given a reason to worry yet either, it's still not great to hear that filming for the new season of Yellowstone may be delayed. Speaking with E! News, the man who portrays Tribal Chairman Thomas Rainwater, Gil Birmingham, said that it looks like they're running a little behind on schedule. For what reason has not been disclosed, but none of the actors have gotten their scripts yet. Andrew Garfield, with whom Birmingham plays a role in Under the Banner of Heaven, jokingly added to the confirmation that he knows for a fact that Birmingham is about to do the next season. He's just not allowed to speak about it. Quote, on pain of death, he will not reveal anything about the new season. It is strange that none of the cast of Yellowstone has received their scripts yet. Filming was supposed to start in May, but this seems to have been pushed back now, unless they're expecting everyone to just work on the fly. It also contradicts the news that the release date of Season 5 is supposedly pulled forward. Taylor Sheridan told Variety that we could be expecting it sooner than anticipated. He did not give a date, but the same article reports that the season has been given a premiere date in late summer. That puts the possible release date somewhere in the August or September of 2022. Will Yellowstone Season 5 set up the 4/6s? Remember that other Yellowstone spin-off that we were promised? What's happening with that show? It's been awfully quiet when it comes to news of the spin-off 4/6s, so let's see how the project is coming along, and if there's any news on when to expect it to be released. Could it be possible that the new season of Yellowstone will be used to set up the new spin-off, the 4/6s? We've been talking about the 4/6s so much that we've forgotten that it hasn't officially been confirmed yet, and there are some factors that could suggest that the 4/6s isn't exactly a priority at the moment. For one, there's no sign that Emily, played by Catherine Kelly, or Jimmy, who's portrayed by Jefferson White, will be going back to the 4/6s anytime soon. It's possible there's still some time to explore whether or not they'll be going to Texas, and if they do, what their future could hold there. A fair guess would be that they'll use the first half of Yellowstone Season 5 to set up 1932. That leaves the second half of the season to set up the 4/6s, alongside all the other stories, of course. Hopefully, if they did decide to take that course, the main storylines don't get swallowed up. It would be a shame if they spend too much time extending a brand that they no longer pay attention to. This was already a critique for Season 4, so Sheridan should have been wary of making the same mistake again, but we'll have to see if he did. Following, how 1932 will bridge the gap between 1883 and Yellowstone. Though not much is known yet about which of the Duttons will be in 1932, we can make some reasonably sure guesses as to what problems they'll be facing in the new prequel for Yellowstone. Many fans were hoping that we'd be taken back to 1883, at least for a follow-up with Thomas, who's played by LaMonica Garrett, and Joseph, portrayed by Mark Rissman. What happened to them after staking their claims in Oregon? We'll probably find out at some point, but before that, we'll be taken to 1932. This was an era of bootlegging because of the Prohibition and Dust Bowls, massive dust storms caused by inexperienced homesteaders who exhausted the land. There's a lot of poverty, and the Duttons may have to fight more than just dust storms. A question that we'll probably see answered is, how did the brand even start? And what brought it about? Flashbacks have shown that the brand was likely not established until John Dutton I or II. With the story now focused on 1932, we may finally find out how the brand came to be, and how did the rift between Yellowstone and Broken Rock become so vast. At the end of 1883, we find out that the relationship between the two was at the very least peaceful, if not friendly. But in Yellowstone, there's nothing left of this relationship. 1932 will probably shed some light on how they became enemies and why. Hold up, you don't want to miss out on the rest of the video. Have you heard about the theory that poses that John Dutton is going to lose the ranch? Is the ending of Yellowstone really already known? And what do we know about 1883 Season 2? We'll let you know all about it in the next part of the video. First up, Yellowstone Season 5 theory, John Dutton is going to lose the ranch. Fans are very observant, and we think that we have found a clue in 1883 that suggests that the worst really has yet to come. The Dutton family could be about to lose their ranch. Season 4 saw the Dutton family fight against land developers, casino moguls, and the Broken Rock Reservation, not to mention some other significant businesses, to remain in control of their land. But after everything that they've gone through to keep the ranch in the family, fans are convinced that John Dutton, played by Kevin Costner, will be forced to give up the ranch after all. It's in the 1883 finale when we see the tribe member named Spotted Eagle helps Elsa and then tells James Dutton about a piece of land that could serve as a nice home for his family. There are two conditions for the Duttons to agree to. One is that his tribe will be allowed to continue hunting in the valley, and the other is that his people might want the land back in 7 generations. Apparently not interested in the fate of his offspring, James replies that they can have it back in 7 generations. But this is the land where Yellowstone will one day stand. And it's been 7 generations. Maybe the time has come for the natives to get back what was always theirs to begin with. But chances are, the Duttons don't remember the promise that their ancestor made. At least not as well as the masters of storytelling, the Native Americans. Next up, Taylor Sheridan, the creator, knows where Yellowstone will end. The executive producer of 1883 and Yellowstone, David Glasser, told Insider during an interview that the Yellowstone creator, Taylor Sheridan, has always known how Yellowstone will end. No matter how many seasons they would end up having to work with, there was no doubt in Sheridan's mind about where the story would end. The 1800 history of the family was conceived when Sheridan first started working on Yellowstone way before 1883 was ever a reality. Glasser also said that Sheridan knows his characters inside and out. He knows the backstory of every character, and he knows how they will meet their end. According to Glasser, Sheridan told him how Yellowstone would end on the day that they started working on it. When that day will happen, no one can tell yet, but it's a fact that Sheridan knows what it will look like. Some fans believe that Yellowstone's end is near. The clue that was hidden in 1883 shows the way ahead. The Duttons will lose their ranch. There are those that believe that there was never any other option now that we know what Spotted Eagle told James. The question is, has the ending Sheridan always knew was coming already arrived? We sure hope not, but we have to admit that it adds up. 2023 isn't that far away. And now, 1883 Season 2. What do we know about the Yellowstone prequel? David Glasser had a lot more to say in his interview with Insider, namely, what to expect from the Yellowstone prequel 1883, which is nothing. He said that fans shouldn't be expecting a second season. But obviously the show is continuing, more episodes are on their way, just not in 1883, but in 1932. Though Glasser wouldn't specify what form the new episodes will take, he did say that we should think of the prequels as a sort of anthology series. This implies that there could be even more episodes on the way. But the prequel, as it stands now, has a fully completed storyline, and is very well able to stand on its own as it is as well. Fans may be eager to see more of a certain character, and there's no denying there would be more than enough to unpack there either. This is not what the creator Sheridan had in mind for this beautiful franchise. The workhorse, that is Taylor Sheridan, has proven that he is a master at producing excellent content, so maybe we should just give him the benefit of the doubt and trust his instincts. We've had no real reason to complain yet, and the way we're being shown the family history is fascinating. Maybe they'll return at a later point in time, but as for now, there won't be an 1883 Season 2. That's it for this video. Do you think the 4 Sixes will ever become reality? How do you feel about 1883 not getting a follow-up? Let us know in the comments, and thanks for watching.